Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB opening day slate on DraftKings for March 29th. Baseball's finally here. Most likely just going to be focusing on baseball from now on. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to do MLB and NBA videos, but like I said in my NBA video yesterday, baseball's kind of my main focus. Maybe if I have the time, I'll upload some NBA videos throughout, but just going to be focusing mostly on MLB rest of season. I'm kind of going to do my MLB videos kind of like how I did my NBA videos, where I go through each position, except I'm not going to go through like catchers, first base, second base, the hitters. Basically, I'll definitely talk about the pitchers because I think getting pitching right is very important in MLB. So I'll talk about the pitching options that I like. Then I'll give my 3 hitters for the day that I really like, and maybe we'll talk about like the slate in general, like teams maybe we want to stack, pitchers we want to target, batters against. You're going to hear the word stacking a lot in MLB. And that pretty much means when you really attack a pitcher, like a bad pitcher on the slate, you attack them with that certain team, maybe because that certain team is projected to score plenty of runs. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, I'm not the best when it comes to like teaching people how to play a certain sport. So if you really don't know how to play MLB, not sure if this video is for you, I do have a video that I will link down in the description where I really kind of talk about tools that you can use for baseball just to make you a better DFS player. I'm going to link that video down in the description. Make sure you give that video a watch. I'm going to talk about this feature I have right here, which is projected lineups. This is very important for MLB DFS. Also going to show you how to use BVP to your advantage. I'll leave that the video down in the description, like I said, where I talk about all these things that I have on the screen right now. And I kind of use these in the videos when I go over the slate. I'll talk about BVP plays as well. This is something I did in my videos last year. Now I'll most likely be doing this year as well. But yeah, guys, before we do get started looking at this opening day slate, we're going to be covering the 9-game slate from 3 o'clock, the 3 o'clock games to the 4 o'clock games on DraftKings. I know there's some early games, and there's some games at night, but we're just going to be doing the 9-game main slate. So before we do get started, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. If you're new and this is your first time watching a video on my channel, thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you'll never miss out on any of my new uploads. But yeah, starting off with pitcher and looking at the pitching options for today's slate, got some stud pitchers we can target. We got Chris Sale, Justin Verlander, and Luis Severino all up top. Max Scherzer was going to be an option that we could go to, but that Washington-Cincinnati game did get postponed. So Sale, Verlander, Severino, kind of like our 10K and above pitchers. You got a lot of SP2 mid-tier options that maybe you can pair with one of them. I've said this before in a lot of my MLB videos. I always like to pay up for pitcher, at least for one, just because getting pitching right in MLB is so crucial. Pretty much getting the pitchers that you know are going to get strikeouts, that you know are going to produce. That's very crucial in MLB just because the hitters are so random. Guys could go 0 for 4 any day. Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, although these guys are great hitters, they could definitely put up a 0. And obviously wouldn't be surprised. But pitching, guys like Chris Sale, these guys can go for 30, 40 DK points, sometimes even 50 if they really get the strikeouts. So trying to pay up for pitching, very important. So Chris Sale is a guy that I absolutely love today. He's going to be very popular, especially since Scherzer is no longer an option, but it's a great matchup for Chris Sale. The Rays, they do strike out a lot. They struck out a lot last year. Chris Sale had a lot of success in this matchup last year, putting up an average of 32 DraftKings points through 6 games against the Rays. Got a ton of strikeouts against them. Their lineup did change a little bit. If we look at their projected lineup for tomorrow's game versus what it was last year, they did add Carlos Gomez. They added C.J. Cron, also added Denard Span as well. Some of those guys are definitely good hitters. Gomez is a pretty good hitter, but he will strike out a lot. C.J. Cron, another guy that will strike out. Obviously, those guys are power bats, but they'll definitely strike out. And Denard Span versus a lefty will definitely strike out as well. So it's a great matchup for Sale. The Rays are only projected to score 3.1 runs, which is pretty low on the slate. Sale's a minus 164 favorite, which is also pretty good as well. Even though he's going up against Archer, he's still favored at minus 164. Great spot for Chris Sale. Obviously, paying up for him costs you a lot of salary, so we're going to have to find sort of a cheaper SP2 that we can go to. I will talk about some of the other pitching options, but the SP2 that I really like on this slate is Garrett Richards, has 6,800 to pair with Sale. I love this matchup for Garrett Richards going up against the Athletics. Oakland does strike out a lot versus right-handed pitching. They struck out a lot last year. Their lineup really didn't improve. If we look at their projected lineup, it's not much different from what it was last year. They did add Steven Piscotty and they did add Jonathan LaCroix, but those aren't bats I'm really worried about. I still think this is a good matchup for Garrett Richards. The Vegas line for the Athletics, they're only implied to score 4.1 runs, which is pretty low. Richards isn't much of a favorite just because the Angels aren't very good either. But this is a spot where he can definitely rack up some strikeouts and get a win. The other popular option for SP2 will most likely be Chase Anderson. I believe he's pretty cheap, or 8,100. He's a little bit more expensive. A lot of people are going to play Chase Anderson just because the Padres are so bad. Obviously, that makes sense, but I really like the savings you get if you go down to Garrett Richards. And he is in a great strikeout matchup against Oakland. So those are kind of the two pitchers I'm looking at. Really, for tournaments, I like guys like Aaron Nola, maybe Chris Archer if you want to go to him just because of Archer's price tag. Archer's too good of a pitcher to be 8,500. It is a terrible matchup against Boston. But a guy like Archer, with the talent that he has, this is a spot where he could rack up strikeouts. Wouldn't really be surprised. He didn't have a lot of success in this matchup last year, which does concern me a bit, only putting up an average of 12 DraftKings points through 3 games against the Red Sox. They did make a big improvement to their lineup. They added JD Martinez. Obviously, that's kind of a guy that will strike out versus righties, but a very powerful bat, which does kind of concern me a bit. But Archer in tournaments, like I said, I don't feel like really anybody's going to play him, especially going up against Sale. Very unlikely he gets the win, but the strikeouts could definitely be there for Archer just because he has the upside. So he's kind of a guy I like as a tournament pivot. Same with Aaron Nola, just because the Braves are so bad, even though they don't really strike out a lot. They're not a very powerful team. They're not really a team you're going to be concerned with. So Nola, Archer, kind of some tournament pivots. Maybe if you wanted to go to Danny Duffy against the White Sox, you could do that. He's a guy that I do like at 7,700, but that is really it for pitching, at least for the options I see. Mainly Chris Sale and Garrett Richards are kind of two guys I'm starting my lineups with today. And then if we look for 3 hitters to fill out our 5 plays, definitely going to be looking to stack some of the Royals bats against James Shields. James Shields is a very bad pitcher. Do want to target some of these Royals bats. The Royals are projected to score 5 runs today. And we do already have their lineup out. We already have a Royals lineup, so we know which hitters we want to target. I think Lucas Duda is going to be a really good option today that you can go to at first base. I'm going to be trying to get a lot of exposure to Royals, so starting first base off with Duda, I really like him here. Powerful bat against a bad pitcher, a pitcher that gives up a lot of home runs to lefties. Mike Moustakas is going to be a very popular play today. We'll talk about him in a second. I do really like him at 3.8K as well. Duda's the same price. I think Duda's a really good option. You can get that 3-4 stack if you play Duda and Moustakas. Kind of like I said, really like Moustakas as well in that same matchup against Shields. Shields he's a bad pitcher. You look at his numbers from last year, he gave up a ton of hard contact, gave up a ton of home runs. And some of these guys have had success against Shields. Mike Moustakas has gone 5 for 10 against him in the past, batting .500. Also has a home run as well. So Moose has done well against James Shields. Even though we don't really have any BVP on Lucas Duda, I still really like him as well. And I think this Royals team you definitely want to target. They're pretty cheap. Look at all their hitters. Not a single one under 4K besides Whit Merrifield. John Jay, you could play bat and lead off. He's dirt cheap. Moustakas is a powerful bat. Duda's a powerful bat. They're both pretty cheap at 3.8K. Even a guy like Soler, although he will strike out a lot, he's got a powerful bat as well. And going up against a pitcher like James Shields that gives up a lot of home runs. Love some of these Royals bats. Then another hitter that I really like for cheap that you could go to in the outfield, Eddie Rosario at 3,500 is a cheap option that I do like here against Dylan Bundy. This is a great hitter's park in Baltimore. Definitely like taking hitters in Baltimore because of how friendly the ballpark is to hitters. We do already have a Twins lineup. Eddie Rosario is in the lineup, projected to bat 4th. I think the Twins could definitely be a sneaky stack here because Dylan Bundy, we kind of saw him last year. He'd have big games, but there were times where he definitely blew up. You've got powerful bats in that Twins lineup with Sano, Rosario. Dozier has some power as well. Logan Morrison, they added a very powerful bat as well in a great hitter's park. So I do like some of these Twins hitters. You can go to them against Dylan Bundy. I think they do make sense. Rosario is a guy that has power, 28 home runs last year. Wouldn't be surprised if he went deep against Dylan Bundy. So these are kind of my 5 guys for today that I do like. Chris Sale, Garrett Richards, Lucas Duda, Mike Moustakas, and Eddie Rosario. Kind of like I said, really looking to get some of the Royals bats today since they're projected to score 5 runs. I was going to be pretty high on the Nationals as well, but since that game got postponed, not going to be able to look to them. But the Royals, mainly a team I'm looking to target. They have one of the highest team totals on the slate. If you want to do the Yankees, it's the Yankees. They're going to be expensive. Guys like Stanton Judge are going to be expensive, but maybe you could play someone like Aaron Hicks. Brandon Drury's dirt cheap at 3.4K, batting 7th. You could play him. And obviously the Astros are going to have a high team total pretty much every slate they're on just because they're such a good team. But they're another team that has pretty expensive hitters. Guys like Springer, Altuve, Correa, these guys are going to cost you salary. But against Cole Hamels did get mashed a lot by right-handed hitters last year. So Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, if you can find the salary to fit those guys in, they do definitely make sense. But yeah, guys, that's kind of my quick overview for this opening day slate. These are kind of 5 guys I like for today. Hopefully you guys got some good information out of this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to see more of like a tutorial of how to play MLB DFS and kind of tools that you can use, definitely check out that video. I will leave a link down in the description. I pretty much go over what this is, pretty much this page, the projected lineup page and the Vegas total page. I talk about this in that video. Talk about BVP, what it is, and how to use it, how to get to this. And another thing, weather is going to be very important. You have to look at weather in MLB because games will get postponed. We've already seen a game get postponed. I believe there's another game. It might not be on the main slate, but there is another game that has some weather concerns as well. So weather is pretty important for MLB because games will obviously get PPD'd. Got to check that as well. I talk about that in the video that I will leave down in the description. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got some good information out of it. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Definitely hype for MLB. Going to be a great year. Just feels good to kind of be playing something new, not doing NBA anymore. Even though I might have some NBA videos still coming out, mostly going to be focusing on MLB from here on out. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck today on this slate, guys. Peace.